Hello again. In this session, we're going to talk a little bit about the so-called mysteries of Tai Chi. The central mystery of Tai Chi is that it doesn't employ the normal athletic abilities that you use to play, say, football or some other normal athletic activity. It's not like playing tennis. Although the forces of gravity, verticality, rotation, momentum, those all obtain, are all relevant, and so on and so forth, but they're not the essential way that the body manifests energy. And we know this from the texts. The old texts in Tai Chi tell us, and generally the first Tai Chi class you take, someone tells you to relax. So this introduces the first mystery right there, because a muscle that is relaxed is by definition not tense. And if you produce energy by tensing your muscles, what do you do now? Chen Wei Ming, in his book Tai Chi Chuan Da Wen, which is Tai Chi Questions and Answers, this is a great book to have. It's a book of about 200 questions he asked Yang Cheng Fu. The answers are not Chen Wei Ming's answers. The answers are Yang Cheng Fu's answers. And in one of the chapters, he said, people who do hard style simply are not able to realize that the end of softness is a unique kind of strength. And simply because they can't believe it, they can't mentally and emotionally take a chance, they don't go there. So they never find it. This does not mean that if you're as open and limp as, say, a cooked noodle, that you're able to manifest this energy. The most important component for a beginner is shape. Shape is the first thing they teach you. And this introduces the second mystery. The second mystery is, how does some little Chinese guy, ideally speaking, if you have a Chinese teacher, make approximately the same shape that you do and get 10 times as much energy out of it? And this is the second mystery. The symbol for Tai Chi is, of course, the black and white yin-yang symbol. I'm sure you're all familiar with this. Now, this symbol is a differential. It's black on one side and white on the other. There's a little white dot in the black and a black dot in the white, the so-called eye of the fish. One of the secret meanings of this is that the black represents your soft tissue and the interior of your body, and it's yin and dark. But penetrating your soft tissue are the bones, your bony structure. And so that's the white dot in the black. The black dot in the white is, in fact, your bony structure. And the black dot is the marrow in your bones. And in the higher reaches of Tai Chi, there actually is something called marrow washing and so on, where you, through different techniques, revitalize the marrow in your bones. But again, we have two mysteries. The first mystery is, how does relaxing produce power? Again, a muscle that is relaxed is by definition not tensed. How does it produce energy then? How do you access this unusual energy they employ in Tai Chi? The second mystery is, as I said, shape. How does someone make approximately the same shape, virtually identical as far as you can tell, as you do, and yet seemingly get 10 times as much stability and 10 times as much energy out of the same physical shape? And these are the two first mysteries of Tai Chi. One of the things that happens when you relax is that you begin to feel expansive in your soft tissues. And when someone adds force onto your person, they then compress this feeling of pressurization in your soft tissues. And if you relax enough and allow your structure to absorb their force, there is something called the return wave that comes up through your soft tissues. Now, this only happens after you do something fairly esoteric called sinking the qi to the dantian, where the abdominal cavity fills with energy. And this is one of the first essential closed-door practices. So we're not going to touch too much on that. We're going to assume that you have a good teacher who can teach you to sink the qi to the dantian. Once this happens, though, you're like a well-inflated football. And so when someone adds additional pressure, if your structure is secure and your muscles are relaxed, they act as a conduit for the return wave of the energy that comes back. So one of the most famous sayings in the early text is, offense and defense are both but the work of a single moment. And what this secretly means, closed door, is you lead their energy down through your bony structure, and you lead the return wave back through your soft tissue, all in the same instant. That would look something like this. If my friend Kelly helps me, you'll see that if I take a posture and he begins to push on my arms, if I maintain my roundness and my stability, it doesn't affect me at all. So I have to add more pressure, more pressure, more pressure. I'm still not feeling much. I'm still not straining. And all of a sudden, if I flex my feet, the energy comes back up through my soft tissue. Now, this is called Fa Jing in Chinese, to send the jin. And real Fa Jing is different than a lot of the pushing contests and shoving contests that you see. Fa Jing is not thought to be a person's foot peels up and then his other foot peels up and he trips backwards or dances backwards for a distance. Ideally, Fa Jing is what in Chinese is called the bronze man, where both feet are sheared off the ground at the same second. There's clear space underneath both feet, and the person lands in approximately the same position as they take off. They don't go all bluey and twisted up. It's so quick that they don't have time to readjust, and so strong that their nervous system pretty much freezes them in place. The saying in Chinese is, like lightning, too quick to cover your eyes, like thunder, too sudden to cover your ears. And that looks something like this. If Kelly and I do the same thing, you'll see that if you watch his feet, I won't allow him to put all that much pressure on me before his feet are sheared off the ground and he's thrown backwards. This kind of sensitivity to touch and force can actually be geared down until you do reach the 4 ounces is defeated. 1,000 pounds is defeated by 4 ounces. We'll do this again, and if you watch closely, Kelly's going to hold his fingers like this and just touch my arm. Just touch them. You'll see he's thrown back. And he's not faking, he's not jumping or anything, and it's not that I have such awesome qi and stuff. It's just a simple technique. One of the things that a lot of masters hope you never figure out is that anyone can learn to do this. Anyone. I have little old ladies in my Tai Chi class who can do these things. Now, in case you think this is a set of biomechanics I'm using, I'm going to, if you will grab a chair, please, Kelly. I'm going to put myself in a chair and sit down and pick up my 2 feet. So you can see I'm not using a system of bars and levers or something, or some normal biomechanical thing. I'm going to pick my feet up from the chair, and if Kelly just makes 2 fists and puts them in my hands, you'll have to come a little bit closer, you will see that once again I can throw him backwards. Now, since I'm not using the ground, I'm picking my feet up. If we could just do this again to illustrate. Picking my feet up, you can see that I'm not just using biomechanics. At this point, I'm into the energy. The next part